So welcome back, everyone. It's nice to be back after taking a couple days off. Got a lot of great stuff done. I got 5 upgrades, that's 10. Got 5 upgrades done to the shop that I wanted to share with you real quickly. And then stay tuned after we go through that. We've got some major drama on the homestead. We have a criminal at large who has been terrorizing our local neighbors. And Mrs. W has a very special set of skills, and she has tracked down and has actually identified, and we know the guy's name now and his record. So, unfortunately, our neighbor, who has been, now he's been the primary victim of this dirtbag, had to leave his home, and he's traveling. So we're going to go load up, and we're going to go check out his place to make sure everything's okay. So anything could happen. But let's get started. I want to show you the 5 upgrades I did to the shop, and then we'll move along. Upgrade number 1. Can you see it? So what I did is I built 2 drawers in our brand new workbench right here. Full extension drawers here on both sides, left and right of the knee braces there. That was a great use of space. So we had the storage underneath there for the power tools, but it was wasted because there was so much, and I had all these little bits and pieces and small things that I wanted to organize, and that works out great. I'll bring you in here closer to see them. You know Adam Savage off of Tested, you guys probably, if you don't subscribe to that channel, they do a lot of cool stuff. He said something that was so profound, and it's so true. I couldn't put my finger on it until he put it into words. I have never liked drawers for toolboxes, rollaway toolboxes, mechanics types of boxes. I have them and I've used them, and sometimes you have to have them. If you're a mechanic and you work with other people, you need the ability to lock up your tools. You can't have them on a board, you can't have them on a cart. I understand that, but they're really a nuisance to work around. And so I don't like to use drawers. I don't know what it is about them, but he summed it up so perfectly. He said, drawers are the places where tools go to die. And I'll tell you what, if you think about that, if you have a toolbox and if you a big roll around, open that up there, and how many tools, when you don't know what to do with something, that's where they go, and they go in there to die. I thought that was hilarious. But I'll bring you in close to show you how I organized the drawers, how I built them. It's very simple, hopefully this is not going to become like a catch-all for junk. Gonna have to go handheld for this one. So the drawers that I built them out of 3/4 inch plywood, and they are, I did a nice job. I rabbited everything, and the bottoms are 3/4 as well, so they won't flex, and those are all rabbited in and recessed as well and glued, and they seem to be really, really strong. On these drawer sliders, I got these online, and they're really nice. They're ball bearing, full extension. So what full extension, actually these are beyond full extension because they're a little bit long. Cheap drawer pulls or sliders will stop like this, and you never know what's in the back. You want drawer sliders that go all the way out so you can see everything like that. So when I measured these, I think I ordered the ones a little bit too long, but they're wonderful. They're super smooth. You can tell a good drawer pull is once you get weight in the cabinet. If you're ever looking to buy toolboxes, take one finger with weight in it, and if you can push it in like that on one side and it doesn't bind up on you, that's a good pull. These are American made, and I believe, if I remember right, it said they could hold 120 pounds or 110 pounds or something like that. So that is really nice. And then they tuck away here. I recessed them back a couple inches, so I can still get a clamp on here. They won't interfere. I'm gonna paint those. I don't like the color of that very well, but we'll do something nice with that. So drawer on the left is, everything can change, but I always wanted a place to have all my gun cleaning supplies. So I can, once I'm done with shooting my rifles, sometimes I neglect cleaning them because, I don't know where everything's at, and I don't really have a good place, and Mrs. W doesn't like me doing it on her kitchen table because she doesn't like the smell, and I understand all of that. So this problem solved. So what I've got in here is I've just got my gun cleaning supplies, and just the things little things like that. And then you have all those little fasteners and nuts and bolts and sights and different things, and things for your holsters and all that. They're nice to have it in one spot. And this is just going to be perfect for that. It tucks in out of the way. And when I want to come and clean my guns, I can do that without any mess, no trouble. Over here, this one may change as well, but I thought it would be kind of nice to have a drawer to hold all my commonly used fasteners. It looks a little overexposed there. Okay, fasteners and different nails for the nail guns and blades. You know, it's always nice to have a place where you can put all your blades at one time and take a quick inventory. So when you see, you know, what, do I need to get anything or do I have everything I want? So I don't know if that's going to stay like that, but subject to change. But for now, it's working out really good. That was a much needed little addition. Upgrade number 2, this is a simple little thing, but it's made my life so much easier. Right here by my drill press, this is the drill press station. I just, a little board with what I have there, 1/2 inch and 1/4 inch or so holes in there just to hold my commonly used things. You know, I'm always using these little Forstner bits and my router bits and the center punches and things, and that may change. I may do something more elaborate, but for now, that's really helped kind of keep things organized here by the drill press. The third upgrade was something I wish I would have done years ago. I can't tell you how many times I have fought with and struggled with this roll of paper. Moved it around. It's been the bane of my existence, but I always wanted it in the shop because it's so handy for so many things. It's really nice to put down if you're going to glue, you know, to keep things clean. I use it, I pull out a piece when I'm sketching drawings of things that I want to build in my cut sheets. And so all I did is I took a piece of 1/2 inch conduit, ran it through the center, and I built these simple French cleat brackets here with the, what's that, got a 1/2 inch, yeah, 1/2 inch hole in it there that holds these. What's nice about this is that I can adjust these now for whatever width of paper roll that I get. I get this at a surplus place. Sometimes they're 24, sometimes they're 36, sometimes they're 48, and that gives me flexibility. So I have 2 of these, and those just simply cradle in there, and I can move them and put them anywhere I want to, and it gives me a nice, easy way I can pull off a piece of paper. And I always have my pocket knife on me, and I can just, whoops. I can pull off a sheet, and I don't have it was falling down all the time and unrolling. This has really been a wonderful upgrade. I put it over here down on the bottom. I actually added 2 more rows of French cleats for kind of some of the things that I don't need to get at all the time. So the 4th upgrade was a perplexing problem of what to do with this bench grinder. I wanted the bench grinder in here because I use it from time to time, but it's not that often, and having it permanently mounted on my workbench here was really a hassle. I've got the drill press on that side, I've got this here. Whenever I had anything really long, it was in the way and I was really fighting it. So I'll show you how I fixed that problem. So what I did is I mounted the grinder onto this base that I made out of plywood here with a French cleat on it. And the reason why I've got this piece over here is I needed the angle to clear, well, you'll see here in a minute, but this sits on the bench now, and I made it wide enough that I can clamp it down. So I can, you know, of course I'll do it like this here, but I can clamp this down if I need to, and it's not going to move around on me, and then I can work on this and on any bench, any surface I want. But the most important thing is that when I'm done with it, I can get it out of my way. And here's the cool part. When I'm all done with it, I can just simply mount it here on the wall and get it out of my hair. I don't have it tying up my bench. Because I mean, I may go months on end without using it, and I just don't need it fixed to my bench all the time. I've got another grinder out in the other shop, but this is a really great solution for power tools. I've even considered maybe even doing if you have a small miter saw, you can build a little something similar to that where you can come and hang it on the wall. And then when you're ready to use it, you can sit it on your bench and clamp it down or whatever. Lots of different tools you could do this with, but it just gets it out of your way and off your work surface. So the 5th upgrade that I made was just a simple rack here, clear on the extreme end of the wall to hold some camera equipment and tripods. What I was finding in here is I had 2 camera tripods and 2 light stands, and it was terrible. I mean, every time I have to do something, I'd have to move 3 or 4 things around. And I don't always need them, so I can usually get by with 1 tripod now that the lighting is so much better in here. So let's bring you up here closer. This simple bracket design works. I mean, it just works for everything. It's 1 1/4 inch. You drill an 1.25 inch hole, and then you take a jigsaw or handsaw and you cut that out. And it just amazes me how many things that it fits. I keep making it, and it just seems to fit everything. So it's just a plywood bracket that I made that I can hold my tripods, or whatever other accessories you want to put in there, for temporary storage or whatever. Maybe you're cleaning several guns at a time, something like that would work really good for holding rifles and lots of different things. So that light stands, that is really a welcome addition to get stuff out of my way. So a couple final things here. I went ahead and I finished up the electrical. I ran some conduit there, and I've got the 6 plugs. Man, you just can't have enough plugs. I already got them all filled up. I should have done more. And that's a nice thing about the conduit is we can cut it and add as many as we want to, but that's probably sufficient. Another thing that was really becoming a bother was having that, I've got these Win air filters in here, which are really wonderful. I mean, it's just changed my shop. Everything's so much cleaner now. I had it mounted over there. And even though I could clear it with my head, I felt really confined because I was spending a lot of time over here and with the drill press and grabbing clamps. And I had it mounted right there, and it bothered me. I kept ducking underneath of it, and I didn't like it. So what I did was, the original one is still in its place. I wired up a conduit here, and I put it at the other end of the shop. And I just ran a plug over here, and this is switched. So when I leave the room, I can turn it off, and I want the fans off. I don't need them running when I'm not here. But I moved it over in that corner, and which now it's out of the way, because the wood stove, another good thing will be the wood stove will be under here, and it'll help to circulate the heat, when I can run that there. So that is a much better placement. It gets kind of, they're blowing the air at each other, and I don't know if it makes any difference. I got this such overkill having 2 of them in here anyway, but that I'm much happier with that. And again, I added two more rows of French cleat on the bottom. I'll probably add 1 more, and I may even add 1 to the top. As things fill up, there's still plenty of room. We could put another shelf up there for small things and boxes. We'll see. Maybe that doesn't happen. And you may also have noticed that I added these are backdrops for videographers, photographers. Roll down backdrops that I like to use from time to time. I was going to do all white thumbnails, trying to get some continuity with the channel. Most of you didn't like that, so it was too bright. So I went with the gray, and that seems to be a little bit better. And I don't know, I'm always trying to change things and make things better. So it's all practice. But this here is these are weighted chains. You can see they've got a roller wheel on the bottom, just hold them down there, and you can just roll these paper backdrops up and down, and they just mount on these simple brackets. You can add a third one, so if I wanted to add a green screen, this is typically common. You have a white, fashion gray, and then a green one. You can, if you wanted to do green screen stuff, which I never have before, but who knows? There's always you always want to keep innovating. But that is the if you're wondering what that is a photography backdrop. So, and finally, and then I'll get to the story of the dangerous criminal. I just started. I've got half of my workbench finally trued and leveled. So when I built this, I built it out of kiln-dried, just framing material from Home Depot. There's nothing fancy in here. I think these were 2x6s. I think is what I used. And of course, they still had some moisture in them, and the bench was not super level as it. Different pieces dried, and I could feel it, and I couldn't really use it to level things. And I believe Paul said in the original video of his I watched, he said, use your bench for a couple years and then do the leveling. Once it's settled and it's done moving. And I got it. I probably spent 2 hours on this, truing this, and I've got this almost, as perfect as I can get. Nice and flat and level, and I'm going to do this side over there. So it's kind of nice to get that done, because that really bothered me having, when I was putting little pieces together, they would kind of teeter-totter and wobble. But everything is looking good. I love this bench. Love. If you haven't watched the series where I built this, you can build this. We didn't have but maybe a couple $100 into it, and I'll try to remember to put that link at the end of this video. You can go watch that series. If this would be a great place to start if you don't have a nice carpenter's bench.
So what about the dangerous criminal? Well, we ran out of time. I get going on this stuff, and
I don't know where the time goes. I'm going to upload it in its separate video. It'll be posted the same time this one does. So don't lose heart, but you're going to want to hear this. This is this is something that needs to be remedied. And I think I do. I think I've got a manly manners I did the other day that I didn't know what to do with. I'll attach that to the end too. So you'll get a double. You get a manly manners and an homestead drama update. And all Mrs. W's detective work. What else is there? Oh, so it's the weather has taken a change. It feels like spring is in the air. The heart racer was out. She was doing her run for life and chasing bugs, and the squirrels are out, and the snow is melting, and every day we go out, there's larger patches of non-snow covered ground. And man, I'm ready for it to go. I can't wait. I want to be sawmilling. We got timber framing. We got gardening. We got. I don't even know where to start. We got so much stuff to do, but we just can't do it until the snow melts. So a few more weeks or so, and I think we're going to be outside for good. We got a whole bunch of trees to plant. We're going to plant a forest. We got forest stewardship. Man, I don't even know where to start. What else was there? So, well, I can't think of anything. Go on over. I'll put the link right here. You can click it there. Click on the video, and you can hear the story about our prowler. And we'll see you guys over on the next video.